Hey babes, it's B. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another bullet journal video. I'm doing my May 2020 bullet journal setup. So for this month's theme, I wanted to do something floral, but also a little bit more. So I decided to do a garden, which would give me a ton of different flowers that I could draw, as well as give me some green in there. So I did this stone wall with a gate leading into the garden, and on the outside there are just some bushes with some flowers and stuff that still is garden-like. Right now I'm drawing the roses, and as you can see, I'm drawing it all with black pen first and then coloring it in. I colored in the roses so I could tell it apart from the bush because it was kind of all blending together, but for the most part I'm coloring after I draw. And as you can see, I'm not really neat with my drawings. I'm kind of just scribbling here and there to give the impression of bushes and of flowers and stuff. And I also colored it in pretty messily, but not too much, just so that the colors kind of matched the messy pen drawing. It was the style that I was going for. I just didn't want it to be too perfect. I wanted to let go a little bit since I am a perfectionist, and it actually did help because I messed up once and it didn't bother me because all of it is just there. It's just what I wanted it to be. So I think this is actually pretty good for a perfectionist to do. Like, you should let go a little bit. Just do it, you know? So right now I'm finishing up the bushes, and then I'm gonna do the trees. So up on top I have the leaves, and then I have the regular trunks and stems, and from the trees I have the word May coming, and I kind of connected it to the trees. And I did it in the swirly font that kind of reminded me of an enchanted forest. See, I was kind of going for the magical vibe. It all stemmed from the idea of the secret garden, which I'm not actually sure if it's magical. It's been a long time since I've read the book, but I just associate it with magic and like an enchanted forest like that. So that's also what I was going for. This theme is kind of inspired by a couple different things. Right now I am doing the stone wall, and I just did a light gray, and I also added some moss using a lighter green and then a darker green, and I did that with the stone steps as well. I thought it made it look a lot forestier, but I did get the idea from my grandma's own garden. She has moss kind of coming out of a stone walkway that she has, so again, inspiration from all places. And now I've just finished coloring in the tree trunks using a light brown, which I also used to go over the word May. I wanted the word May to look kind of tree-like and match the trees that it's right next to. And then at the top I am just finishing off the leaves and coloring in the background with a very light blue, just so that it would be a sky and so I wouldn't leave anything blank on my cover page. And on the other side of the page, I am doing the quote, which coincidentally, I chose the same exact quote that I had chosen 1 year ago for my May 2019 bullet journal setup. And I have no idea how this happened, but I guess this quote must have been calling to me or something because I chose it twice on accident. But I just did the same exact font, added some flowers, and I also am adding some washi tapes. I added a butterfly washi tape and a purple washi tape. The butterfly one I've been wanting to use for a while, but I haven't had any themes that matched it, and I thought a garden theme would be very appropriate. Moving on, now I'm doing my calendar spread for this month. At the bottom of the page, I have a garden that's kind of stretching across both pages. I have the stone step, stone walkway, as well as bushes and flowers, and they're drawn just as messily and colored in just as messily. And I really like the way it looks, and I think it adds a lot to my calendar spread. I didn't have a full 2-page calendar because, again, not as busy, but I also didn't make it a full 1-page. I just made it a pretty miniature calendar in case anything comes up, but again, I'm not very busy nowadays, so I don't have many events that are coming up because I can't really go anywhere. And now I am drawing the trees, and on the other side of the page I am drawing in the boxes so I can finish drawing in the trees before I go and color everything in. I just wanted to outline everything and draw it all out, including writing out the word May, and on the other side of the page writing out the words YouTube Planner. So this is a new spread to me, something I've actually been needing for a while, and I've actually been using my brain dump to plan my YouTube videos, but that's not really what my brain dump is for, so I decided to make a spread that is dedicated to it. So I'm trying out the spread this month, and I'll probably make some changes, but just kind of trying it out and seeing how it goes. Then I also have 3 boxes to track social medias and stuff. And now I'm coloring everything in. Now I'm going over the word May and then adding my numbers and the days of the week to my miniature calendar using the same purple that I've been using to color in some of my flowers, and on the other side of the page going over the words YouTube Planner and then coloring in the little social media icons with the same colors I've been using for the flowers. And now moving on, I'm doing my mood tracker and brain dump page. So for my mood tracker, I drew a bunch of flowers and plant things. I'm going to color these in as the month goes along using whatever colors correspond to my mood. And at first I was having a little bit of trouble kind of distributing these with each day of the month, but I figured out a way to do it. I just labeled the stems as the days so that I could just trace it up and color it whatever it is, because otherwise I feel like it would have been confusing. And I left the brain dump at the top of the page, and I didn't realize how big the flowers were gonna get, how big I drew them, but I don't think it will be that big of an issue since I've been using my brain dump for YouTube planning, and that's it, because the YouTube planning usually takes up all the space. So maybe I'll figure out what I'm actually supposed to put in there. And now I'm going over the brain dump and mood tracker words using the same light brown that I'm using to color in the trees, and I'm also going to color in the leaves at the top and the bush using the same color of green. Now on to the last spread of this video, which is the first full week of May, which is the 4th through the 10th. At the bottom, again, I'm adding a little garden with a stone path. This one, I wanted to make the path a little differently instead of going straight back into the unknown. So I kind of made it loop around the center island of some flowers. And again, I'm adding some trees and some leaves. Now for the actual spread, on the left side I did an events bar, and on the right side I did a content schedule, which that idea I got from Amanda Rachel's channel, which she did a little content schedule at the bottom of her weekly spread, so I wanted to try it out myself. And then I have events for anything that might come up. And then in the center I did to do with the circles, and yes, it may seem like only a small amount of space, but that's really all I need. I only have a couple of things to do. I mostly do schoolwork, and most of that I don't even write down, but anything else I have to do I can just write down here since I don't need a lot of space for it and there's not much to do. So that's why I did this. And I also wanted to do something a little differently with the spread, which is why I did the circles instead of boxes or anything like that. Now I am coloring in the garden. Now I'm coloring in the trees using the same light brown and going over the words do as well as the circles just to add some color in that middle area. And then I colored in the leaves at the top. And then using a light pink that I realized I didn't use for any of the flowers, I colored in the sidebars. Then I wrote in the days and the numbers. And usually to go over the words that I wrote, I would use the light brown, but since I drew the trees there, I went over it with a darker brown so you could actually see it and read it. And now at the bottom of the page where I have a bit of empty space, I wrote in a quote using the same swirly font and going over it with the same light brown. And it says, "Every flower blooms in its own time." And then I also added a little butterfly at the bottom. And here I'm trying to figure out where to place some more of that butterfly washi tape, and I placed it here on the calendar. So this is the final flip through of my May 2020 bullet journal setup. I hope you guys loved this theme as much as I did. I think it turned out so pretty, and it gives me major Enchanted Forest vibes, which I am living for, and the hand cramps were totally worth it. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment something nice down below, and share it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!